Hi, this is Sai Morton with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts, and important levels on the forexbsummit.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit forexbsummit.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody. Today guys, I have decided to take a look at the Canadian dollar instead of the gold market, because in the gold market actually we have specified already our long-term view that we expect the further drop in the gold market. We expect to see the deep retracement to the 1160, 1170 area before a real reversal could happen on the gold market. And in general, since last week market really hasn't shown any significant action. It's mostly was standing around the 12 even support. So today I thought that it's not really big necessity with their adjustment to our view on the gold market. Meantime, the Canadian dollar, as we have talked about it briefly, and the next week we just have mentioned that the New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar shows very interesting setups that could be really turning point for this currency in coming weeks. So the Canadian is forming very interesting setup. Right now it stands right at the edge, and I thought that why not to prepare the forex research second in the current week instead of the gold. So at the same time, actually guys, the major patrons stand on the weekly and monthly chart on the Canadian dollar. On the daily chart we see just the additional patrons that confirm the same level. But the major setup stands on the weekly chart. And another reason why we bring the analysis on the Canadian that it stands in a tight relation with the crude oil. And on the crude oil we see a bit irrational behavior because if you'll take a look at the weekly crude oil, you would recognize their reversal pattern that's head and shoulders, but instead of the breakout of the neckline, crude oil has dropped. So it has reached the neckline after the right shoulder has been formed, but hasn't shown any breakout. At the same time, we do not see any reflection of this action on the Canadian dollar. On the Canadian dollar, everything looks just quiet and calm, so no irrational behavior. So the patterns that we see right now on the weekly chart is hard rock. So they are very clear, and just no hints on the possible pitfalls or something of that sort. And that makes us a bit worrying about the perspective. And we think that here we could catch something really unexpected action that could bring the really large dividends. Because on the Canadian dollar, if our suggestion on the possible failure of the Canadian around 136 area will be true, and if our suspicious on the behavior of the crude oil will be also true, that could trigger the significant upward action on the Canadian dollar and could lead the currency pair right to the 155 area in the long-term perspective. This is really turning point. That's why we think that it really makes sense to dedicate the video research and the weekly research to the Canadian dollar. So what we have on the Canadian dollar, actually guys, I probably will start from the weekly chart, just you will understand it better. So now on the weekly chart we have very cool looking downward reversal pattern. So we have the thrust down. Take a look that this thrust has become the reversal swing, because take a look, the length of this move down is greater than previous move up. So this is bearish reversal swing. And we have ABCD retracement after that. So clear gutless 222 sell pattern, right? Behavior with this ABCD also mostly has the feature of the retracement. So a lot of overlapping candles, no acceleration. The AB and CD legs have the same speed. So very harmonic action here. And in general, the pattern looks just perfect. Upward action has met resistance. So this is 50% fib resistance in 135.75 area. And take a look, that is the monthly pivot resistance one. So what else we could desire from the normal retracement action? What else we need to confirm? the normal bearish trend. And what else we need to say that, well, this cool action, and looks like the normal retracement, and follow that logic, we should expect the further drop on the Canadian dollar. So we need to see downward action here, and we need to see the acceleration on the crude oil prices. But the major problem here is that we do not see the same behavior on the crude oil. By taking a look in the Brent crude oil, we guys have a bit different action. So if we will take a look at that, here take a look, this ABCD action was in opposite direction to the upside, while on the Canadian dollar it was in also in upside, but they should be in opposite directions. Also on the crude oil, take a look at this pattern that I have talked about, some kind of the hand shoulders. This is not really very strict shape of this pattern, because we need to see that shoulders should be a bit deeper, but you could see the harmony of that. Some V shape, this head shoulder has been formed, but here market has failed to break the neckline, right? So it has met it and dropped down. This is not really good sign for the situation that we have on the crude oil and for the situation that we have on the Canadian dollar. That's why, this is mostly the reason why we're preparing this research right now. So it's a bit, as you can see, it's a bit two different pictures. On the Canadian, this is the flawless picture. Picture is just perfect from the technical point of view, and that suggested a downward drop. But on the crude oil, it's not quite perfect. It's a bit warning. It's a bit suspicious. So on the daily Canadian, we also see some other patterns and levels that confirm and increases the resistance, the strength of this resistance level. So here we have ABCD target, monthly pivot resistance 1, fib level. On the daily chart, we see the completed our butterfly pattern that we have started to talk about a couple months ago. Then we, from time to time, return to them and drop. Then for some time abandoned discussion of this pattern. But anyway, this pattern has been completed. So you can see market has completed 1618 extension butterfly pattern. Here, right at the same level as ABCD pattern has been completed. It's a very strong combination, guys. Also, take a look, this is the upper border of this channel. This market stands. On the intraday charts on the Canadian, guys, we do not see really something interesting. It's maybe you could recognize some kind of the hand shoulders here, but it's not perfect pattern, guys. The most interesting for us is the existence of the pivots. And take a look, that weekly pivot resistance one will stand at the same area. So what we have, in fact, around this level. Around this level we have weekly fib level, weekly ABCD target, daily completed reversal butterfly pattern, is also upper border of the channel, and weekly pivot resistance one. So monthly pivot resistance one and weekly. So very strong pattern. It means that if we indeed have here normal bearish action, normal bearish trend, the strength of this level should be enough to hold any upward retracement. That in turn means that if market will break through this level, this will be irrational behavior for the normal bearish trend, and this will tell that that breakout and that action is not just a retracement. This is something greater is coming, and that breakout could become the really very important, some kind of destiny action. So, because this breakout could open the road in a long-term perspective on the Canadian to the 155 level and next monthly ABCD target. So if you will take a look at our weekly research, you will understand what I'm talking about, an analysis of the monthly chart. And that could open the downward road for crude oil price as low as to the $18 per barrel. So currently it looks unbelievable and sounds unbelievable, but if we will drop away the actual numbers, so when we'll take a look just at the technical picture, you'll see that's not really quite impossible. So it's really could happen. That's why, guys, currently we just warn you that situation could change on the Canadian dollar depending on how crude oil will behave. Currently on the daily crude oil, it looks very nice because market in fact has formed double repo buy pattern. So we have talked about this double repo. Initially, we have thought that even it should fail, but actually it has worked really perfect. But right now we have the opposite direction double repo, and it confirms in general expectation that we see on the Canadian. So it should turn down based on this analysis, and the crude oil should continue move up because this is bullish double repo. But if something will go wrong, mostly due to the situation on the weekly chart, and if this double repo will fail, market will drop here, that will be very important sign that Canadian dollar also could fail here and could show the upward acceleration. If this will happen, you know what it will mean. So that is the really idea of current video, current weekly research that we have prepared on the Canadian dollar. So that's been said, although situation technically is perfect on the weekly and daily chart for reversal for taking the short position on the Canadian dollar, we still warn you that if you will see the breakout of 136 area, you will know what will it mean. So you will know that this will lead to the very significant upward continuation on the Canadian dollar, and that will confirm the failure of the pattern that now is forming on the crude oil. So that's very important. And since market right now stands at this level, at the turning points, 136 is an important level where market either should turn down and confirm the existent overall bearish setup, in the Canadian dollar, or if it will fail to turn down and break this level to the upside, that will mean the drastic changes that could happen on the Canadian dollar. That's why let's keep watching what will happen, since probably we should get clarity on the coming week.